Hi, this is Sherry Gallagher with Technicon Company Incorporated, and this video addresses the Section 7.4 Purchasing. So Section 7.4 of ISO 13485-2016 Purchasing has three subsections: the purchasing process, purchasing information, and verification of purchased product. Let's start with the purchasing process. This is where suppliers are identified and managed. As with most other sections of ISO 13485, a documented procedure is required for the supplier management process. The procedure must define how suppliers are evaluated and selected and be proportional to the risk. If your process is simply a requirement that the supplier is ISO certified, please make sure that their certifying body is accredited. Otherwise, the certificate is not worth the paper it's written on. Other methods are a self-survey and/or audit of the process or evaluation of multiple lots of product. If the only requirement you're going to use is to have the supplier provide 2 or 3 lots meeting requirement, recognize that you are taking a risk, that if they have changes in personnel, equipment, or process and they are not certified, then this could result in nonconformities that would not be detected until the product is received at your facility. This would impact your ability to deliver on time and might actually impact your product quality if you don't catch it before it gets in process. So for monitoring and reevaluation of suppliers' performance, you must follow a plan, and records of evaluation, selection, monitoring, and reevaluation and actions must be maintained. If the supplier fails to meet requirements, the actions taken to address the issue must be proportional to the risk. There must be a criteria for evaluating and selecting suppliers, and that criteria must include the supplier's ability to provide product that meets requirements. If they have great systems, certified and everything, but they have an inability to deliver conforming product, they're not a good supplier. Performance. Typically, suppliers are rated on quality, delivery, price, and/or service, or responsiveness. This information should be reported in the management review and utilized to determine if a supplier needs to be replaced or not. The effect of the purchased product on the medical device quality. An O-ring that is critical to the function of your product has a different risk than the bag you use to contain accessories. This needs to be taken into account when evaluating and selecting suppliers. And finally, the criteria must be proportional to the risk associated with a medical device. An implantable pacemaker has a different risk level than a non-sterile bandage. Once the suppliers are selected, your organization must communicate to the supplier what you want to buy. One of the most concise ways is to refer to product specifications and drawings. You must also communicate to the supplier how you're going to test the product and provide them with test methods or procedures and the process and equipment used so they can be sure they're providing conforming product. Look, most suppliers want to have their product conform. It saves them money in the long run. So if you can tell them how things are going to be tested, there aren't as many surprises for them or you. If the supplier personnel can have a significant impact on the product, qualifications of the personnel are defined. Now, for example, you're buying a product that's welded at the supplier. You may need to have the supplier's welder meet certain certification criteria. If you set up specific requirements for the supplier's quality management system, such as maintaining ISO certification, that needs to be part of the purchasing information. And you need to communicate to your criteria, especially if product specifications are adequate. Also, if one of your criteria for the QMS is that they are ISO certified, make sure your system checks and see when their certificates expire. A key issue we are seeing is having a written supplier agreement that requires the supplier to notify your organization and obtain approval prior to making changes to the product that might affect the ability of the product to meet requirements. The supplier can adjust the process to ensure they're making good parts, but if they change material suppliers or equipment, they must notify you the customer, so you can determine if the change will affect the medical device. Finally, your organization is responsible for providing traceability to in your product to the supplier's lot of material. In some cases, your organization may have to assign lot numbers to supplier material if you have not required lot numbers from the supplier. Once you've selected the suppliers and communicated the purchasing information, you will hopefully receive product. You must establish and implement inspection, testing, or other activities to ensure the product meets specifications. This should not be difficult or a surprise, since you've had to communicate this information to the supplier when you sent them the purchasing information. The level of verification should be based on your supplier evaluation and proportional to the risk to your product. When the supplier informs you they're making a change as per their written supplier quality agreement, it is your organization's responsibility to determine the effect, if any, on your product and process. So if your supplier is switching to a different steel mill, you would want sample product for chemical composition testing and to make sure new product reacts the same in your dies as the old product. I seldom see verification of the supplier at the supplier premise. If your organization determines you will be performing the verification there, you must notify the supplier and clearly define how you intend to perform the verification and the method you will use to release the product in the purchasing information. The supplier may have safety concerns or not want an increased bioburden in a clean room from your staff. This must be worked out before you show up on their doorstep. And finally, you must keep records of all verifications. Please review the records. I have seen material received with a certificate of analysis that was out of specification. The incoming inspector only verified there was a certificate of analysis, not that the criteria was met. This created a real mess and a product recall. And on that happy note, good communication is the key to managing the purchasing process. If you found this video helpful, please like and share. If you would like more information or need help, please contact me at our website at www.technicon.com or email technicon1986 at sbcglobal.net or call 708-814-3685. Please go out and have a wonderful day.